Brother Akram, as we were chatting, Alhamdulillah, we have made a few trips to Nigeria, and I know that wherever you go, especially, you speak so fondly about the Lemus and about New Horizons School. What is it about the school that really touches your heart, inspires you to celebrate their success?
Well, every time we come here, for either Ibar or as individuals, first of all, being invited is quite a privilege. I feel complimented in a way that, these people with highly skilled staff and so responsive to the needs of the children and so on, that you can't help admiring the commitment, the dedication, and the outcome. And when you and I look at the classrooms, or look at the material they produce, look at the ideas that they develop, over the last 15 years or so that we've been coming here, we notice how, for example, at least 16 brand new ideas, new initiatives, completely different from anywhere else that we've been in the world when we work for International Board for Education, Research and Resources. And that captures your imagination. That tells you something about the people who are responsible for such initiatives. They are to do with the needs of the children. Really.
Absolutely. Akram, sorry to interject there. One of the things that I often think about, and I was the headmaster of schools, of a few schools, we find that the landscape of the world has changed. The demands are differing, but they're very intense as far as young people are concerned and for teachers. And I think all schools require leadership, a dynamic leadership. And in your own experience, I know, and I've said it many, many times, that if you look at Sheikha Aisha Lemu, if you look at her, every time I used to meet with her, she'd tell me, Idris, what new things are you doing? And she'll take down notes. And she used to implement that. And what I like about that is the capacity to receive new ideas, the capacity to interrogate what they do, and also the capacity to give the school leadership when it is needed. I'm not too sure what has been your own observation, Akram.
Absolutely the same. I mean, this reception of ideas. What's even better is that when Sheikha Aisha receives the idea, she doesn't come back to New Horizons and put what we have said into practice, but she has somehow or the other, she's discussed it with her senior members of staff, the lead professionals here in New Horizons. She's discussed it with Sheikh Ahmed Lemu. She has discussed it with virtually everybody. Some of those ideas, I know she's discussed it with the children and the parents and ex-pupils, ex-students. And that enriches that. Whatever we discussed beforehand, she then quantifies it in terms of what are the needs of New Horizons. This school, this community, this institution, these children, and that's what's exciting. Because then it's relevant to what she's doing here, what she is directing. She's giving that leadership in a way which is responsive to the real issues, real concerns, real needs of the children here. And we see it in the outcome, in the children themselves. You and I have seen them. And the fact that I actually invited the head girl and the head boy from New Horizon all the way to England, just for that reason. Because I know they've got so much to offer on the receiving end of these new initiatives. So they came over there and they talked to all these international figures of educators who have never heard of Islamic perspectives. And, they blow them because these are students who've gone through the system. And so the 16 initiatives over the last 15 years are similarly inclined in the same sort of basket of quality, of high standard, because they are doing the national curriculum of Nigeria. Everybody else is doing the national curriculum of Nigeria. Hundreds of schools are doing the national curriculum. Some schools are really good at, performing on the national curriculum. So is New Horizons. But the additional dimension, the exciting bit for you and I, is when we see these new 16 initiatives from Islamic perspectives to world history, to world geography, kada. These are wonderful initiatives because they speak volumes about the nature of the discussion, the quality of the people, the competence of the individuals, the collective team response to the needs of the community. It really speaks volumes. And that's what, it's like a magnet. It drives me here. I love coming here. And we both, between us, tell them so. I don't know whether half the time they believe us, but we tell the world about this wonderful, wonderful place where there's love, there's compassion, there's affection for each other, there is real teamwork, there is not just New Horizons as an institution, there's IET, there's the Dawa Institute. These are all people on the same page. They're all working towards the same vision of future generations. It's immense, man. It really is paying dividends.
Absolutely, Akram. I think I share with you every sentiment of yours. And Allah bless you, Akram, with the enthusiasm you show yourself and the idea that we want to promote excellence throughout the world. And one of the things that I will not forget is sharing the platform with you and spending 2 or 3 days talking to the students, interacting with them, and also the workshops we had with the staff. And I'm so glad that the proprietors, Sheikh Aisha, the principal, Mustafa, and the deputy principal, Salat, Allah bless them all, said, you know what, let's talk about creativity. And we're so glad that we have done it. For me, I've traveled many parts of the world as you have done, and one of the things, the missing dimension of our schools is the whole issue of creativity. And creativity, inshallah, if it is introduced, if it becomes an integral part of the school curriculum, I think when children are empowered with that particular life skill, then they can respond to the diverse needs with authenticity, with confidence, knowing full well that for every problem there's a solution. Because sometimes we live in some societies when people find for every solution a problem. I often say that jokingly, right? And Akram, could you just share with the viewers, if I may, why creativity, and what was your own response to the participation, the reaction of the teachers from most parts of Nigeria?
First of all, I agree with you that it was wonderful because we said to the staff, give us a needs analysis, a result of what you have found that members of staff need, because we didn't want to come here and impose our priorities on a healthy, well-established and really developing well, institution like New Horizons. So we discussed that. If you remember, we were sitting around, and Sheikh Aisha was there, the principal, the deputy principal. We were all discussing, this could be done, and this is one of the areas, classroom management, behavior management, and the issues that we discussed, and we spent quite a lot of time on it. And then suddenly you came up with this idea of creativity. We had discussed it before, but we didn't want to impose it on them. You just said creativity, and immediately the deputy principal said, that's a good idea. And the principal immediately said, yes, that sounds like a good idea. And Sheikh Aisha joined in. It was almost like, wow, 1, 2, 3. And they all said, that's what's needed. That's what we should go for. And that's when we started. And as you said, the workshop began. The first workshop was with all the staff here at New Horizons, the primary and the college, and the response. Goodness, it was enormous, wasn't it? Huh?
It was excellent, excellent.
Brilliant the way that everybody just mucked in. They just wanted it, as if they needed it. And we thought they might sort of be reserved about it, but wow, it was really something out of this world. We really got involved, and we did what we could on the first workshop, and we changed it for the second one because of the response, and we tried to meet it as creatively as possible, but the response was for you and me, for Ibar, we thought, well, this is the best thing we could possibly do. But that's what we want to do. This is what we want to do, respond to. We will take this sort of response, this quality of response, with us, this image from the children, from the staff, from the workshops, and we will carry on lifting the image of New Horizons, because that they deserve.
Absolutely.
They deserve it.
And I think, for me, the bottom line is that when you go to other places and suddenly you realize there are other people who are doing great things, and I would recommend, especially our head teachers, to travel, go to other schools, and you'll see that what you regard as a problem in your school, there's someone else who has found a solution.
Yeah.
And I have been so inspired working with you, Akram, and also inspired by this seminar. I really believe if all our schools can become far more creative than they are, we're not diminishing them. They have their own challenges. I have no doubt it would be, as you said, an authentic response to real life challenges. Akram, it's always a joy to talk to you. Allah bless you, look after you and protect you.
Jazakallah khair. It's always such a... I like it.
Okay.
Such a joy to work with you, inshallah.